So I was
That
just
weighs
joking.
300 pounds. However, 300 pounds doesn't seem to hold up to a 500-pound robot. Oops.
Oh, wow. So it actually just dumped it on the floor,
It
huh?
dumped it on the floor
Oh,
and
my
hooked it.
gosh.
This is Helical Brew. Real talk about lab automation from the people in the field. No sales pitch, no brochure version, just what actually works.
Welcome, everyone, to Helical Brew. And I want to say welcome back to Automation in the Wild, where we explore how lab automation really works once the system ships. Not the brochure version, the real one. Today, we're joined by David May, owner and lead service engineer at DCM Bioservices.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Hello.
Glad to have you with us. With decades of experience keeping complex lab automation systems alive in the field. So just a little background on David. He spent his career on the service side of lab automation, from Beckman Coulter and Agilent to running his own service business. And that's where we met. And so, if the system fails at 2 a.m., odds are someone like Dave got the call.
Yep.
Been there, done that. Get the
Yep.
24. We had a 24-hour cell phone when I was at Stoyley.
Yeah. No, we I was in life science, so we didn't have any of that stuff.
Yeah, that's right. A little bit more chill, like I spent some time in semiconductor, as like directly supporting that space. And I realized no time zone, no time matters.
Nope.
It's all about kept getting that thing back online, but a little more relaxed in life.
Right.
But still, they want it fixed.
Oh, they want to fix like the hour after they call.
So icebreaker, what was your first oh no automation moment? The one that taught you that this job was going to be very different than you expected?
Well, I'm trying to think of one because like walking in and getting trained on these instruments, and I walk in and I think I know what I'm doing, and I blow out one of the boards right away. Bam. Let the smoke out.
Let the smoke out.
So that was like my first couple weeks of the job, and that was the worst.
Yeah.
Because you want to do so good and all that. And
was that at a client site or?
Yeah, it was at a client site.
What's that odor?
Right.
You're like, it's supposed to do that.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry.
You have the extra function on there to do that.
Yeah, it's that was kind of the training protocol at Stoyley, my first job, it's a robot company.
Mm-hmm.
And I just traveled with the field service folks, and it's I think some of the best experience I can think of in my entire career. Yeah,
I love it.
Well, you got to break it so you can figure out how to fix it, right? So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. I know better now.
Yeah. Also, managing customer expectations, managing all those things. It was such a learning experience,
Oh, yeah.
Figuring all that stuff out.
Trying to, just learning the personalities of people is a part of the job as well.
Yeah.
And, I think almost being a psychologist is part of the job, because you got to listen to their problems and just
what's going to happen. Yeah. Where are they at? Where are they at?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So like how did you arrive in lab automation service? What got you there? What's the backstory on Dave arriving in lab automation service?
Things, I mean.
Right. Well, it started in high school. I wanted to be an architect.
Okay.
So I went through all the college and did the undergrad. Started the undergrad, and I was like, okay, this is cool. I love it. One day I opened up the Yellow Pages, if you remember the Yellow Pages. And
now we're really aging ourselves.
Right. Unfortunately. But it was like a half-inch thick of architects. So I'm like, I got to compete with all these people. Yeah. I was like, well, let me rethink about what I want to do. So I got into microbiology, did that, loved it, got a job synthesizing oligos in this little lab down the road.
It's architecture of some sort.
Right. And then during my college at Maryland, one of the professors had a lead on a job coming up, and it ended up being Sura Genomics. You remember them?
Mm-hmm. Sura, yeah.
So I worked there for years, and then what I was doing there was just a lab, a bench. So I kind of got into like the triage department for the 3700s. Do you remember those?
Yeah.
They're like 3130 predecessors. So I got the triaging on that, and I said, I really like this. And then there was a job opening at Beckman, and they gave me a chance. I went to Beckman. I loved it. And then it just happened that Lisa Knapp, you know Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa. Yeah.
She went to Agilent, and she recruited me to come to Agilent. So I was like, okay, sure, I trust you. So I went there and I was like, man, this is great because this is when I want to expand my knowledge and all that stuff. And then kind of was like, wait a minute, I can do this on my own. So I kind of got a few clients here and there, and just it took off from there, and I haven't looked back. And it's been since 2011. So we got a big group now, about 9 of us here, and we're growing this year. It's going to be pretty big. So that's kind
awesome.
of my story.
So getting back into it and the life science or life on the service side of automation, what do people not understand about service engineer? What service engineers actually deal with? How do you maintain your cool while they're hovering over?
Oh my gosh,
over you? Yeah.
You get some people that are right over your shoulder the whole time, and which it's fine, whatever, I get it. But some people are like, okay. Like I feel like I have to explain what I'm doing to people. Like, this is what I'm doing, this is why I'm doing it, and all that. But but sometimes they'll leave you alone, and then you don't see anybody.
Well, you don't learn if you don't hover,
True.
Yeah, they wanted to know, what is this $20,000 getting us?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes they're like, oh, what's this? What's this? And you're trying to do something, and say for like a biomech, they have a light curtain, and there's a certain process you have to run, and you can't break the light curtain when it's running, or you have to start over. And they're like, oh, what's that? And they'll point to something on the deck and break the light curtain. You're just like, okay. You can't get too upset, but
that's a rookie mistake because they know the light curtain's there.
I know. You think they know it was there?
It's your box. Come on.
I'm
here for you.
Right. It's just making it longer.
Do you think I disabled it just because I'm here?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, most of the time, sometimes they're just sitting there the whole time. Right over your shoulder. Some places they have to be there, but they don't usually hang it. They just kind of go sit down somewhere.
Okay. I kind of like to interrogate, though. It's like, so
Me
if this
too.
was working, what would you be doing?
Right. Would you be sitting here? No,
I wonder if the light
I'm sure they're
thing
anxious.
is indicative of how they usually operate. Like for us, when we ran the Beckmans, we would put duct tape so that
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea.
But when the service guy came, we would remove it.
Right. I can see the tape. I can see the residue of the tape on
The
there.
residue, yeah. The telltale duct tape.
That tells you something. They're used to reaching in.
Right. No, you're right. That's probably why. You're right.
Mike is like, no.
The duct tape.
Yeah, I can't tell you to do that because that's a safety issue. Now,
PSA, do not use duct tape for safety.
Did you use the wand they have for the light curtain rod or whatever they call it? It's so funny.
Oh.
You can't stick your hand. They don't want you sticking your hand to break the light curtain, so they have this rod, a plastic rod. You're supposed to go find it, grab it, and then break the light curtain.
Yeah.
By then it's everything's already happened. Yeah, everything's already happened.
It's like, did an electrician invent that? There's a rod you use for turning the breaker on and off.
That's pretty much.
Rod.
Oh, well, we'll send you a new rod out. I'm sorry you lost it. We'll send a new one out to you. Okay.
People couldn't find it if you asked them.
Correctly, it's thick.
Yeah.
At one point, we
about
were
2
like,
inch diameter.
I'll just take this home and use it as a rolling pin because it'll flatten dough. No, it's huge.
It's true.
Wow.
But you ask them where it is, and they couldn't find it.
Yeah.
But
well, speaking of duct tape and blowout patches, what's the difference between a system that works and one that survives?
Duct tape.
Duct tape's the answer to everything.
Right. No, I mean, I think taking care of the equipment is probably the biggest thing. It'll last forever.
I'll tell you what, this next one is one I can totally relate with. I'll give my relation later. I want to hear your perspective first. What's the most common thing people blame that usually isn't the real problem?
They blame the instrument. They'll be like, I don't know what happened. I wasn't around. I didn't see what happened. I'm like, okay. But I'm like, you don't have to, you just tell me. I'm not going to be mad at you because I want to know what happened. So it doesn't happen again.
Won't take it personal if you tell me your biomech doesn't work.
Right.
I run into that all the time just as an internal team where we are just like, whatever happens, just let us know so we know what to fix it. Like, no judgment, but any crash, big or small, let us know. They're always like, I don't know. I was in the other room. Something happened. I don't know what happened.
I heard this loud noise and I came over and it was on the floor. I don't know what happened.
crashing sound,
Right.
We put a webcam on it and we're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
I ended up doing that.
Yeah. Evidence,
Well, now some have integrated the webcams, like the iSeries, the new one. So
they got cameras like on the corners, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's supposed to check for the labware on the deck, make sure everything's good, which...
However, it's a forensic device.
Right. Right.
Secretly over at headquarters, the forensics department, we've picked up a collision between arm and arm.
Show people's faces or record their voices, so you have to angle the cameras just at the platform.
Yeah.
Right. I've fixed a few over webcam, too. Like
really?
Somebody, yeah. There was somebody in China, I think, that I was helping because they were trying to troubleshoot, and I was like, "Can you put the camera here? Can you look at this?"
Oh,
yeah. So I've done troubleshooting over webcam.
And on that note, I just recently looked at some footage, and it was like they had a kind of the gimbal, everything, and it also did rectilinear correction because it's such a wide angle.
Yes.
So like the software could basically create almost like a virtual space where you could like be a camera, even though there's not a physical moving camera, but it would have all the data to be able to stitch together. If I were to take an imaginary camera virtually and go around the entire machine and even zoom in.
Oh, wow.
I was absolutely blown away because I was able to see exactly, I just blew it up 100% on my screen. I was able to see exactly what was going on. It was, I mean, the technology has gotten really good for that.
It's great. It's great.
To be able to do that. Well, so my robot story, it's like everybody blames the robot. It's like, that's the thing. It should always be moving. It's not moving, even though I can say, no, it's just waiting on the software to say that device is done, and it's never saying it's done. So,
Yep. Yeah.
I felt like I was a robot defense attorney, for 20 plus years. Hear ye, court is in session.
Mm-hmm.
The robot is presumed innocent and is now been proven innocent.
Innocent.
Part of your job is to provide the evidence that the robot can.
Right.
So you're saying that your cell culture didn't work because the robot messed it up. Tell me why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They try to blame, the first thing they blame is the liquid handler. If something goes wrong.
Yes, that's another center of the world, right? Center of the universe, a litigation disaster. Yes, there we go.
And then you go in and be like, well, there's nothing wrong with this. So start looking elsewhere.
Defense attorney.
Yep.
And of course, I'm not trying to paint the picture of, I'm just trying to make sure that the robot is innocent here. And that's all my job is.
That's it.
Now, I'm not trying to paint that picture, but I am trying to paint that picture.
Well, it's part of the commentary that the service people come to try to resolve this situation for you. So they need all the facts so that they can do that.
Yeah.
Right?
Just that's all I need to work on it. But don't leave anything out that you stuck your hand in or left a tip box on the deck that you weren't supposed to leave there.
Yeah. But it is amazing, though, to like all of us here on the podcast. I mean, our library of cause and effect is so valuable. Like, we have an immense library where we can just hear about something. You go, did you check XYZ?
I do it
or
all
ABC,
the time.
Right? And it's just instinctively we can respond like that because of all that experience. So all the pain eventually pays off.
No, it does. It does. Because the guys here will be fixing something, spend hours on it. And they'll ask me, and I'll come down, I'll fix it in like 2 seconds. Well, that's your problem right there. They're like, I hate you because you do this. I do it all the time.
Again, Dave.
Right.
And then eventually they'll be the ones that, hey, I don't hear from you anymore. Exactly.
You should know this by now.
It's known.
Right. Yeah. But yeah,
I want to hear about the craziest story you've ever.
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Yeah.
Other than
how much time you got?
Right.
Yeah. There's in service that that's the best storytelling in any group is always the service department because they can say they've seen just about everything, including instruments on the floor, which is one that I ran into.
Oh, really? So I was
that weighs 300 pounds. However, 300 pounds doesn't seem to hold up to a 500-pound robot. oops.
Oh, wow. So it actually just dumped it on the floor,
It
huh?
dumped it on the floor.
Oh, my gosh.
It was a liquid handler, and it hooked the corner support and just took it off the table.
With the Stably, right?
The robot did care, and that's only when the gravity took the top of it and just banged the top of the robot. It's one of the weaker joints,
right?
But the waist joint,
nothing.
Whatever.
Well, I think have pictures. That's
what's
crazy.
2 feet around.
Yeah, or the Echo that took it. Yeah. No, there's
that's not good to dump on the floor.
Echoes have taken they've taken some real damage before, but
those are expensive as heck.
Oh yeah, that's the $250,000 problem. Yeah, what do I do? So heading into our next segment, failure modes nobody designs for. What are the most common causes of unexpected downtime in your opinion? All your experience, all your visits.
It's really I guess somebody putting something on the deck that
shouldn't be there.
The robot doesn't know it's there.
Yeah.
And it just jams everything up. I think that's the biggest thing. The people that don't kind of know how to use an instrument, but they don't.
Yeah.
And they don't set it up correctly.
It's so easy to do.
That's part of the biggest thing, right? Is explaining to people who aren't very familiar with the process. The robot only knows what you tell it knows it has on it. So if you put something there that you didn't tell it you put there, there's no way it's going to know that. And that disconnect, even though it's very logical, you have to teach people, right?
I must say it like 4 or 5 times when I'm training people how to use it. I'm like, you can't lie to it. It doesn't know. Unless it's an I-series, maybe because it has the cameras in it, but even then.
You still have to build that logic in, right? Like,
even then.
Check this, make sure it's there.
Right. I mean, as far as like serviceability, like part of the instruments, they don't design service into these instruments most of the time. I'm sure you know, Mike, with that.
Yeah. No, it's something that in product design you want to be like a feedback item, which I've fortunately been able to be involved with.
Thank God, yeah.
Like, give all the feedback. Here's the areas where people are taking the most time on service. And having a crew, we have, I've worked with crews that listen, which is great. It's connecting sales and customer facing to service. But I look at some of the devices in the labs. I'm like, that's like 20 minutes just to get the cover off, whatever it was.
Right. Yeah. I got to do this and sneak around this and get to this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting to parts sometimes is a pain. I mean, I get it because everything's compact, but you can make it a little access from the bottom or something.
Yeah, and the selection point, that's another thing I notice is like, how do vendors bundle their service parts and whatnot such that it's viable in the field? Sometimes offering every piecemeal part of one particular assembly doesn't necessarily make sense for somebody to actually do in the field.
No.
Sending them the larger SKU, even though it's maybe a little bit wasteful, the time savings in the field is so much better.
See, Azimut was good at that, or V11, they were good at that.
Compartmentalizing things, yeah.
Yeah, so you swap out an assembly instead of a part.
Yeah.
So,
that's huge.
Yep.
Yeah, like one cable or, it's like that takes 20 minutes to replace or just, pop a whole new assembly in. And you're not even sure. Yeah.
Right. Sorry. But, that made me think of, you were at Beckman and then Agilent. Agilent is just, those Bravos are just so simple, right?
Yeah, I love it.
They're made to be simple. So did you encounter that in servicing them? Because it seems like, you can pull the head out, you can pull different pieces out.
Yeah, no, I think the Bravo is really good design because it's easy to get to the parts, the boards and everything. The failure points is usually it's easy to get to. Some of these other ones, man, it takes you half a day just to take everything apart to get to the part you want to change.
Yeah, the Bravo definitely does stand out in terms of just its appearance. I've never taken one apart. I've only seen one apart in your shop working on it, but
there's a couple covers you take off and that's it.
It looks so simple, and so straightforward, which is
and very robust. Yeah,
very robust.
The people who designed it were pretty smart.
Yeah,
that whole
it was impressive.
Yeah,
and it still is. It's still. I mean, the Bravo. I've seen like pallets full of Bravos in the field. I mean, it's like that thing just keeps on trucking.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah. I say all the ones out there, probably that's the one I like to work on the best.
I think you and I first met or first had an interaction, an email regarding a BenchBot part. I think that was
okay.
I think our first communication, if I think back to it, was about a BenchBot.
Yeah, because that's just precise,
Yeah, we were the producers of the BenchBot when it was still in production, and I actually I got to work with some of the folks that did the original work on the DDR too.
Oh wow!
Cool.
Oh gosh!
Yeah,
they modified the heck out of that thing.
Oh yeah.
That thing is very interesting and very hard to replace. I think, I was talking to Mike about when I was at the company and it just broke down because they'd had this bench cell for like ever, right? And we were trying to like replace that arm. We ended up just using another precise arm because it was just hard to find a working one.
Right, right.
Yeah, the DDRs were. It was just you can only get so many parts. We produced parts for it at Precise for quite a while actually after it was obsoleted, but eventually it got to the point where it could go no longer. And
no, I don't blame you.
We actually obsoleted that whole controller product line later on, which, I mean, it was time. It was, but we were being a small company. We could, we could be flexible with that. And it was not a big deal. But what a cool, when that thing was running at full speed. Wow. That thing was awesome.
Whips around, like it turns around on itself and everything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was sad when it got obsoleted.
I know.
Extraordinarily expensive, but extraordinarily fast.
Right. Right.
And also it sat idle a lot because, look, I mean, life science processes are not like, making razor blades for Gillette, razor handles or something like that.
90% of the time it's just sitting there.
It's idle time. So a lot of that stuff was, but I remember going to those labs and seeing those things built. And for folks that were doing production, especially in the agricultural space, that thing was a real workhorse.
Right.
And so how often is the robot not the real issue in your experience?
Yeah, I'd say probably about 25% of the time it's probably the end user that did something.
Okay.
Yeah.
The robot meaning just anything, a device related. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. That's a reasonable scenario.
Yeah, around there. It's the 25-30%. Sometimes it's just the end user is not doing something properly.
So it's always the end user is what I'm hearing.
Yes. for the break and everything else.
Yeah. Look, I don't expect folks to wrap their head completely around the product as it is, if they're not working on it day to day. And that's, part of the training is around that. It's like training is not really relevant if you're going to do like in-house maintenance until you start getting into some of the PM cycles, right? So you may as well be fresh going into those. Having training right after acquiring the machines is not necessarily that, useful.
You need like a follow-up training. I think like 2-3 months later, you should go back in and do like a refresher.
Yeah.
Because it's so much information coming at you all at once. And you're like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, there's always like practical training beyond the official training. Once you've touched it, handled it, tried to do a few things, you should definitely go back and get trained again.
That's the way I think, get hands-on, and then you'll have more questions because you don't know what you don't know at the beginning. Yeah. And you start working with it and then you have, how does this work? Why can I do this a different way?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, all right. There's always going to be those moments where, you're going into a system. Everybody says everything's validated. So it says system is validated, but nobody thought of this. Give me some examples.
I guess like making sure the process works and you have everything you need for that process to work. Yeah. They're like, we didn't think about it. We needed a plate sealer, or we needed this. And yeah.
It's usually process related. Yeah. I mean, things like that. Or even, we need a regrip station because one of these
the plate needs to go the other way. Right. That's a good example. Yeah, exactly.
We need a robot with fingers that can go into this instrument that can't take normal fingers or, things like that. Right.
Yep. It needs to have a certain grip to it. Yep.
I mean, I can imagine that things like that wouldn't make it through validation, but subtle things, like the sealer part, right, or something missing.
Or they could have integrated the sealer and they didn't think about that part of it. They're always just, we don't want to integrate it.
Evaporation wasn't a big deal during the validation phase.
Right. Yeah. It was just a blank plate.
It's no problem.
They're doing it wrong if they're doing validation that way, let me tell you.
Sometimes a person will get a lab will get a piece of equipment. They run it, go through validation and everything. And they're like, well, I can do this process faster. than this robot. Like if you have just a single liquid handler or something like that, I can pipette faster than that. I'm like, well, the point was to free you up to do other stuff.
Right.
So they're like, well, I can do it faster. I've been doing it faster. So we put in this equipment in the lab. 6 months later, it was on auction. I don't.
That's a shame because that's not all
it is a shame.
brings to the table, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Repeatability, reproducibility. There's like I've seen in large screening campaigns where the data, you can see it dip before and after lunch. It's not about you doing it faster. It's actually getting reliable results. So they're just missing the point entirely.
And that's kind of what we try to get to people when they're looking for systems. It's not going to be faster sometimes, but it'll do it the same way every single time, repeating the same way. Some people just don't get it. They don't get that.
And it can run all the time. It doesn't need a potty break.
Exactly.
Firing a robot for cycle time and lab automation? What?
Right. That's basically that's what they did. And I was like, really? Okay.
How is that company doing today?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
If robots could talk, I just got notice. I just got notice.
Wild, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna
pink slip.
Yeah, it says next position, dust collector.
Mm-hmm. And I've seen that too, where they just push stuff in the corner because they don't understand it.
On top of it, and I'm just like, you've got to be doing something where this could be your workhorse. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think with especially the pipetting devices, I've seen masters at work with those devices. And when they do their thing and they get that robot up and running, it's untouchable. No one's going to say, I can do that better.
Right. No, right. Yeah. They've tweaked it and made it perfect.
It's like a pianist came in and played the piano.
Right.
Like they literally, somebody was not doing Hello World on a liquid handler.
Although they printed it out in the plate, though,
I printed out this first thing. Let's try that one out. Yeah, I got you.
I made a palm tree. Look.
I'll sleep well tonight. So in the next segment 3, we're going to be talking about serviceability, black boxes, and long-term pain. The bane of our existence. Nobody wants to have long-term pain in their operations. But how has automation become harder to service over time, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, the OEM's locking down everything now, a lot of them.
Okay.
Like accessibility into the software, into the hardware, The biggest thing is that TCAN has that one that just counts down until it needs a PM. Have you seen that?
No.
It's some instrument. I saw it last year at SLAS, and there's a counter that tells you, okay, you have this amount of time till the PM. I'm like, well, what happens at 0? Does it shut off?
Yeah, right?
But I think parts are a big thing because everything's not off the shelf.
Okay.
So, but that's kind of
locking it down. They really have. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Just making the parts. Are they? And I mean, I know some folks have training programs for third-party service organizations. Where they can go in for training and learn about it.
If you're somebody that didn't go through the training, they don't even talk to you.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, right. Yeah. And are you approved? Stand by.
Right.
Oh.
Yep.
It's like pilot. It's like pilot currency. Yeah, we see you have your license for dual engine, but you don't have a type rating on this particular aircraft. So
you're grounded.
Come in for a training class, right now. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I have to say, like in the robotics world, because a lot of robots, the ones I've worked with end up being kind of assets to the facility, not just assets to a particular department or lab.
Right.
They just become kind of this, oh yeah, we've got a bunch of robots we can deploy anywhere in our facility. They tend to get they're easier to maintain in that way. You can justify like in-house service or a contract with an organization like yours, where you can have regular visits by DCM or and then they can take care of all your robot things versus when I was at Thermo, the side of that's controlled very tightly, as you know.
Yeah, I can still work on it though.
Yeah, no, a lot of people do. A lot of people do.
Right.
You can't do anything about it. I mean, the part might be hard to get a hold of, but
that's the problem.
That's the problem.
So you got to look elsewhere,
But speaking of which, I think you talked about going to Beckman and then to Agilent.
Yeah.
I don't think you told us where you are now. I know Mike just mentioned it.
It's my company, DCM Bio. I mean, that's
And
my.
what does DCM Bio do primarily?
So we're servicing the lab automation, like all the liquid handlers and anything that touches a plate, we service. So washers, sealers, liquid handlers, centrifuges, and all that.
Robots,
precise arms, and all that. So basically, we're a service company, an alternative to the OEMs. We may not be your best fit. You can always go with the OEM. That's what we always tell our customers. We may not be the best fit for you because you have, tight turnaround times and all that. But if we can help in any way, that we'll do that.
Yeah. Because I know you've got regular customers that you set up nice service deals with. And when you've got a known customer with a known, array of instruments and devices that you're going to be maintaining, that's actually simpler than calling each one of the OEMs.
Yeah. I mean, that's a big
at
plus
the other
for
day.
us.
Yeah, it's a big plus for you guys. And so you can, certain things you're not going to be able to service, but you can bundle a certain number of instruments that do make sense. And that's a win for in-house service organizations that, need to have the right people in the right place to keep it running.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we cover all the major manufacturers.
Yeah.
As far as but we know what we know. So we're not going to try to do something, hey, let's wing this one. We don't do that.
and if they insist, reiterate, we're winging this. If we touch it, we're winging.
You're signing this piece of paper.
Pretty easy to see from a service perspective. It just doesn't work.
No, 99% of the time it doesn't work out. You're calling the OEM.
Body language and facial expressions should explain odds of this going well are low.
Right.
But, often you don't have the right turnaround times that you want from the OEM, right?
No,
so I think that's where this service would be really great because you have another option. And if it's something that provides value, that could be your first option.
Exactly. I mean, there's people that told us, we didn't even know you were here, out available. So we're trying to get, that's why we go to SLES. We try to say, hey, we're here as an alternative. Because sometimes you can't afford the OEM because they're a little bit too expensive. And I'm not saying we're cheap, but we're reasonable.
And for us, we're perfectly aligned because our model is working with folks like yourself. So it's great. All I have to do is, you want a PM contract? All right, here you go.
No problem.
No problem. I can just
you can start
send
putting
them over.
timers on things.
Yeah,
right. I mean, I'm sure they'll probably have it at the show this year.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see it.
I didn't know Tikan did that. If you're thinking
it was some new instrument they're releasing or something like that.
They do have
it might not have been out at the time. I don't remember.
There's a new instrument they have that has a huge flat panel on the top of it. That's the one. Okay.
Look for the timer on there. Look for that timer. It's kind of counting down. I'm like, wow.
It's got to be the largest flat panel offered with an instrument.
It is.
In this industry.
It is. It's like 2.5 feet long.
It's going to start putting names on there. Hello, Dave.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You walk up to it. I see you there.
Oh, wait, boss is coming. Oh, turn off Call of Duty. Okay. Then.
You have the panoramic view.
Yeah, it's going well. Look at all those bark graphs and curves, and it's going awesome.
That's great. Are you leaving?
Much insight.
Okay, back on.
Right.
Yeah. Well, speaking of all this proprietary stuff, that leads me to another question of what role do proprietary software and closed systems play in your business? Like having to have, for example, I had to get a special reader for my car so I could read the codes off of it because there's special codes, I mean, I'm sure you run it. Yeah.
It wouldn't show up on a regular one.
No.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a big thing now is like getting access to the software updates, software updates, firmware updates, we don't have access to that.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably the big thing is that where they just lock it down and you can't get in it.
The bug fixes and things like that.
The bug fixes are probably the biggest thing. I mean, a lot of customers do ask that when they ask for service contracts. They say, well, what about, updates and all that? And, if we have the update, we'll do it. Definitely. But
yeah, sometimes they just have to go seek it out with the manufacturer, right? Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that many a time. With robots, it's pretty rare, because robots are one of those things that generally you want to be, if there's any kind of major update, you want to be on the latest, but they're very rarely updated. They're actually, it's like something you very rarely touch. But in a liquid handler, I could imagine there's all kinds of bug fixes and features and things,
Yeah, I mean, with some of them, they're, the older models, they've gone as far as they can. They're not bringing out any more updates or anything like that. So, you're at the end of that cycle, I guess. But the newer ones, you have to wait and find the new software.
I mean, so lack of visibility, I mean, it does represent a risk, though, right? For, in terms of, right? I mean, it it's a risk for labs.
Yeah.
When they can't have the visibility on what their, certain maintenance and all that.
No, I agree.
So, yeah.
That's why we tell our potential customers, hey, you don't have to go with us, but these are our limitations.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to try to remedy it every time. We'll try to fix as far as we can, but, there is a limit.
Unfortunately, there is a lot. I mean, is it fair to say there is a lot of stuff you can work on? I mean, it's so that's the good news is there's a lot of stuff you can work on.
I wouldn't be here if there wasn't.
We're not talking about like the whole market. It's like impossible to bring.
No.
It's like you can, for the most part, you can kind of get in there.
Oh yeah. No, we're fine.
That's good. That's good. And if not, we'll figure it out. But documentation, I mean, but it really is important, right? I mean, like having the access to the documentation. Generally, that's something that, I feel like documentation isn't as big of a deal as like the actual software tools and or special physical tools, right? I mean, some instruments require like a physical tool,
right?
Like my old Volvo did,
right?
or a
certain like a jig or something you need to get mounted, may not have access to that. And at that point, we'll say, okay, I think the OEM is the best option for this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's like we were talking about earlier, design decisions by, having us involved would greatly benefit,
big time
for those that have seen you more than me. I mean, I've had my share. I've spent most of my career in the sales profession, but my service time taught me well. Listen, communicate.
How many times I've cussed out who designed this? Why did they design it this way?
Yes. Who does things like this?
Right. I'm like, if I ever see them, I swear I'm going to give them a piece of my mind.
The benefits of walking the show, right? You can you stop by every.
But
by the way,
I don't want to ruin those relationships.
No. Let's pull out the iPad. Just a little tip and trick here. Maybe
these are the things you need.
Yeah.
I drew you a picture of how it should look.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So that gets down to buyer intelligence. What questions should buyers ask before they put that PO request in? Hands down, give us your top 3.
I think just learning about how's your service department? What is the turnaround time for service? I mean, that's a big thing. What happens after my warranty runs out? Can I renew it or get it up front or whatever like that? I think that's probably what a lot of customers should be asking. Future-proofing the instrument, saying, hey, was this going to be able to work in the future? I think that's also.
Yes, obsolescence planning. I just had a customer, very smart question. I was so appreciative of the question.
Yeah.
They asked, it's been out for a while. How much longer are you thinking? I'm like, that's a great question. I had a great answer to it, but it was a great question.
Right.
Yeah,
well, I mean, that's kind of why we're here too. We help facilitate the extension of that life cycle of the instrument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also, even if the question doesn't come up, I bring it up anyway.
Yeah.
But that's just experience talking because.
Right.
I can see in the vision of their development, they're going to be doing this for 10 years. So I need to position the correct product for 10 years or 15 years or whatever that's going to be so that they can do drop-ins. Because the worst thing is to say, we don't have that.
Sorry, we don't offer that.
Work envelope changes, everything changes, like all the things that are associated with whatever it is with a robot or grippers or whatever. Yeah, no, that's huge. Yeah, that's huge. Ask about that.
Yeah. And, I mean, the company goes away, the equipment.
What's your backup plan, right?
What do you do?
Yeah, that's true. What should be non-negotiable in service?
Getting the turnaround time, through from when somebody calls and, somebody on site.
Okay.
That managing that expectation is the biggest thing.
Biggest one.
You can tell them you're not going to call me at noon and I'm going to be there at 4, we try to get there as quickly as possible.
Sure.
But we try to set that expectation up front.
That's a huge one. That's
big time. Big time.
I would imagine, in addition, making sure that the instrument is accessible somehow, right?
Oh, yeah.
There are a lot
Great
of
point.
different labs that don't
Oh
allow
my gosh. Yeah, I've been in labs where you can't even put your hand between the instrument, on the side. I've had to pick up these equipment, turn it sideways where it's hanging off the table so I can fix it. Lab space is a big thing too. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Some labs you go in and
we
you
do
can
a
walk
lot
around
of
the instrument, no problem.
Exactly. And I found that we do a lot of integrations and I'm always
Mhm.
thinking, how would someone service this? So we come
Mhm.
up with solutions where we can make the
I'm glad you're
instrument
thinking of
more
that.
accessible, right?
Yeah. I'm glad you're thinking that way because nobody thinks like that, you know?
This
I've crawled
cover,
under a couple instruments myself.
this cover will have to come off eventually. It doesn't help being next to a wall.
No. Yeah. I need
Yeah.
to be able to get to that screw. You have to be a contortionist sometimes,
That's a huge one. Yeah.
Or not
You're-
covered breadboards and then you lose your screw and you're just like,
We had something like that. We went into a lab and so they had a lot of electrical stuff going under the floor, and there was a panel that was just open. And one of the guys here dropped the screw down there, and he's like, "Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm not reaching my hand down there because I don't know what's in there."
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's a big thing too, is just trying to find screws that go on these floors you can't see them on.
That was a design feedback item actually for the linear rail of the Precise Flex.
Okay.
Was
yeah, I've lost a screw in there before.
putting and making the cover such that anything would fall off to the side. It would never fall in the rail.
Right.
And even liquid too. That was the other driving
Yes.
factor it's going to happen. Somebody's going to have some deep well block and it's just going to not like it's going to hurt the thing or, electrically everything's sort of outside of the range, but having all that liquid pooling next to a stainless or, a steel bearing, not good.
Nope.
I do appreciate that a lot about Brooks. You guys take the feedback really well and you instantly try to rethink design to make it easier,
That's awesome.
Having it's a very close path from sales to who can make that decision. And I think that's
good.
That's a key in a lot of organizations, I think, is being able to do that. You're not having to convince, and then you can get it going. It's more like all you need is just one phone call and convince, and that's all right. We've had some of the best feedback ever has all come from customers for us.
Well, yeah.
So, yep.
Definitely. And then we try to hear that too, and if we can help in any way, we try, we'll modify something, 3D print something for them or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, 3D printing. Oh my gosh.
It's amazing.
Oh, it's like the MacGyver of life science.
Yes. Because I remember when I started, we didn't have 3D printing. So you had to think of different ways to make stuff. And now it's just like, okay, we'll just 3D print and model it up.
Yeah. I love making adjustments to grippers, for example. And then before you have to machine them, you got a way to test.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah. Repairing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Sam Michael over at he used to be with NIH?
Yeah,
he had a great video he did about those very expensive compound plates that they store in those big GNF systems.
Yeah.
And sometimes the skirts would wear out, crack. And so he actually started a whole thing in their shop to recreate just the skirt of the plate. So they didn't have to touch the plate.
Oh yeah.
The contents were still usable, intact. It just had a bolted on skirt, if you will, or a replacement skirt.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good application, I think.
Do you know Pepper in his lab?
No, I never.
He's probably the one that came up with it. He's
okay. But that was a cool video. Plus they had, I remember I was at Stoibly when those systems went in, those gigantic Stoibly.
I love watching those things run.
It's like, close the door and stay out, that kind of thing.
Yeah, every time I get in one and to work on say a V-spin that's on it or something, I'm like, if this thing turns on, I'm toast. If it turns around or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they're so big and hefty.
So wrapping it all up in terms of at the end of the day, if a lab wants fewer emergency calls, fewer fire sale events, fewer somebody pulled the handle, we've got a problem. What needs to change? What is the takeaway? To reduce the number of events like that.
I say really the biggest thing is just keeping the instrument clean. Free from tips, free from any kind of obstacles, liquid and stuff like that. That's the biggest thing. Just keep it clean so it doesn't get all gunked up. That could affect different parts and everything.
Okay.
Duct tape residue.
Tape residue.
But like if you had liquid on that light curtain, it'll burn out the light curtain because it's not sealed. It's not sealed. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I've replaced many of those light curtains.
So the PCB is exposed?
Oh yeah.
I mean, usually you can put almost like a little layer, like a sunglasses layer that makes it, just hides it. Just kind of looks like a industrial design thing with it. Oh, bare LEDs? Not cool.
Well, no, there was a red cover to it.
Okay.
On top of that anything could go right past it, around underneath of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Not like wrapped, it's just on top.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it is great that they're putting cameras in these things because the forensic analysis could at least be a little more straightforward in the whole process. Like you said, leaving something on the deck, leaving tips, leaving boxes, leaving things that shouldn't be there. It's like a good friend of mine is a former gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps, and he's like wired in, like you always leave the device clean, whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Whether it's his motorcycle, whatever it is, like, it's just that habit. Yeah.
And I tell the guys here, I said, hey, look, you go into a PM, clean it up. Just clean the instrument. Make it look brand new,
They'll go like, whoa, who was here?
All right. Yeah. So they know we were here,
It's magical. It's clean.
Because I've seen some people that say they do PMs on the instrument that kind of wave their hand over it and say, it's been done.
I hereby declare you PM'd.
Yeah. And they throw a sticker on there. I've seen that before. I'm like, really? This was PM'd? I don't think so. I don't think so. And I won't say it was the OEM that did it, but I'm just saying.
Just saying. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, here's one. Have you ever intentionally used a cell phone next to a Tcan Evo?
Why does it no, I've never done it.
There's a sticker on it. It says,
oh, that's right.
Cell phone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I've probably seen it a million times and didn't even think about it. But I'm sure I've used the cell phone next to one.
Yeah. So early GS, I think that sign only is relevant to, I remember the story I heard. It's entertaining,
No, definitely.
Modern cell phones, I think, aren't a thing. It's just the original GSM, TDMA. It's enough to induce in the wiring, that's true in a lot of things, right?
True. True.
Where
I think that's why we had the gas stations with them on there too.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, the gas station, I still follow that. I have no interest in my cell phone in my hand while the pump's in my hand. I don't want that.
Oh, I'm just like reading stuff.
Yeah. Sure.
If it can be in my back pocket, it can be next to gas.
Right.
Sure, the static potential. I mean, come on. Yeah, no, it's like very low chance of anything. All right, this is the segment of our show which I love. I've got one this time. It's our pick of the week segment, and guests always go first. And this can be a device, a book, even a checklist, habit, tool, mindset, even like getting into the zone. A recommendation from you that you might have, and you can have multiples too if there's more than one.
More like work tools or
anything. I mean, if it's something cool you're reading that's not work related, could be that too, or work related. If there's a gadget that you never leave home without, if we're
or
going on a service call,
or music video.
Yeah, a podcast.
Right.
Well, not too many other podcasts. We don't want to like.
Yeah, just you only listen to this.
Just
one.
kidding.
I mean, of course, I'd have to have my phone all the time. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
can't leave home without that.
Is there an app on your phone that has become, a go-to more often than most?
Besides like Facebook and Twitter?
Okay, well, yeah. Take a little selfie with a biomech every once in a while.
Right.
All fixed.
I mean, I'm always checking my Wise cameras. I think it's pretty cool that you can look at security through your phone now and all that. It's just amazing.
Oh, a doorbell camera. Yeah, that's always fun. Package has been left.
I could be all the way across the country and see what's going on,
Actually, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Is there any of the devices that you work on that have phone tools, something that's, or tablet or something like that, like service tools?
Like mobile stuff or apps?
Just like like an app. So for example, my car, this tool I got, the diagnostics app runs entirely on the phone operating system. So I can just Bluetooth into it, see everything. I mean, has anyone implemented anything like that in the
Not that I've seen. I wish they would.
Yeah.
I wish they would be able to control an instrument or
Just
something.
do like a service dump from your iPad. Go,
yeah.
Here's all the recorded events, things like
right.
that.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen anything yet. Maybe there is something out there with the new stuff, but
note to the industry: please think about using mobile in your future applications.
Right. Of course, they wouldn't do anything service-wise, probably, but
yeah, it'll be like, well, you can control it. I mean, there are some schedulers out there that have mobile apps, so you can actually check in on a running process and get sort of a miniature version of what you'd see on the computer screen. It's kind of cool.
Years ago, I saw somebody that created something for like the Biomech, and I was like, wow, this is going to be great. It's going to come out, and but it never came out.
Third-party Biomech app?
Yeah.
I thought Biomech was also considering doing it at one point back in the day.
Like coming out of the app. Maybe that's what it was. Somebody was working on that.
But they never followed through.
Yeah. I guess not. I wish they would, though. But
Sure, you got one?
Gosh, no.
You're not
I'm
even
notorious for never having any, and then I'll come to one podcast and have like
the puppies were the puppies were one time. I mean, they got the cute puppies. Mine actually comes from this is as well. I don't take like public transport as much as I used to. I was when I was living in the Bay Area, I used to take public transit a lot, and I would just not. My car would sit in the garage for weeks. Because I would just it literally stopped right by my place. I get on and do my thing. However, buses, airports, train stations, you name it, right? What are they notorious for? Noise, lots of it, especially BART stations in the Bay Area, which are cut right between two sides of a freeway. So if you're on the platform, you're getting everything. So that's when I discovered our friends from, I believe they're Marlborough, Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken, world famous David Clark.
See, that's pretty cool.
So what they did was they took the headset that was made famous by, remember TC in Magnum PI, the helicopter pilot, right? TC would have these, infamous.
I'm sure Sura doesn't know who that is. She's too young. If I could grow a mustache, I would. I would have a mustache.
All right, you know what a Ferrari GT 328 is, right? Yeah. So these things are. Basically, you could be next to a jet engine. That's what they were designed for, and still have a conversation. The microphone on this is such a narrow range. That's why you see pilots will have it. What they did was they took the pilot's headset concept, which is designed to be like a fixed wing or a helicopter, something really loud, and they just made a Bluetooth headset out of it. So, like if you're in a service, you could be working on a robot in a forging plant or an injection molding facility, where the sound factor could be over 100 dB all the time, and you can have a conversation because it will passively isolate the sound around you. I had this Sir's going to laugh at this. Like, is that another gadget you had in your drawer? Yes, it is.
He's always pulling out these gadgets.
Can't have enough.
Oh yeah, there's this thing. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what? I'm doing a lot of walking around in noisy places, so I brought it back.
There is something I really like. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is why I like you to go first, Mike. You inspire people.
This electric screwdriver.
Oh.
It's most of them are really slow, but this one's really quick.
Yeah.
You have to take all those pieces of
it's small. It's tiny.
Yeah.
And I can go through TSA and they don't know it's a screwdriver.
Carry on TSA, no problem.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
never
cool.
had a problem with it. Never.
Yeah, because it doesn't really have like a long, the typical screwdriver.
To be fair, you can't really hurt anybody.
It could be a microphone. Could be,
Oh yeah.
So I think that's probably my tool that I go to all the time is that one.
What's the brand? What's the name?
Oh gosh, I got it from Amazon.
Oh, okay.
Vessel. VESSEL. Okay. It has a little light on it and everything.
Look at that. Yeah, and it's going to take the bit sizes you're going to need for any of this equipment anyway. It's not like you're running into massive M20 bolts or something.
For all those 2mm screws that I got to take out of the cover, it helps my hand. Doing this for years and years, it helps.
What's the most common hardware in an Agilent? Are they hex bolts or are they screws?
So originally, I think they were just Phillips, and now they're hex.
Hex. Okay.
Yeah.
I think everything started shifting to hex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks very.
Of course, more to strip.
clean.
So I strip them all the time.
Another one of those. You're going to get the pliers out, right? And,
you don't know. I've used to MacGyver all kinds of stuff. I still do, but.
Yeah. And I've been at a customer site when I did that. In fact, I broke remember the slip rings?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had inadequate tightening of a screw, and the slip ring got caught on one of the screw lead-ins or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'm like, $500 right there. There we go. Okay.
Right. Yeah. You start thinking, oh my gosh, what am I going to do?
Yeah. Yeah. Fortunately, it was only driving distance from the office, so I just went back down and picked it up.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, David, for coming on. It was
thanks
great.
For having me.
How do folks get in touch with you, Dave?
Well, I mean, if you can reach out at dcmbio.com.
All right.
Or our main thing is service at DCMBio.
Yeah. Well, no, I think
for
LinkedIn, right? You can always go.
You can always. I'm on LinkedIn.
DCM Bioservices on LinkedIn or Dave May. Go look.
Or Dave May.
Yep. Find him.
Yep.
I was just looking you up to make sure I had your resume right before, so I was LinkedIn stalking. Typical pre-show game.
All good.
Well, awesome. So. Thanks for coming on. I really enjoyed the conversation, the discussion. And for those folks that would like to watch or listen to more Helical Brew, check us out at helicalbrew.com. It takes you direct to our YouTube page. And pretty much all of our pages have links to other sites, but you can
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe on YouTube. That's the key, right? Because you're always going to get updates. You'll always have the Helical Brew ready to rock in your queue automatically, and all the shorts, the fantastic shorts that Sura does. And we have usually a few shorts per episode that we do ahead of an episode release, so you can see what's coming up next. For those folks who maybe like to watch the shorts, but you want to do kind of the long haul approach with the podcast, we're also on Spotify, now on Amazon Music, if you're an Amazon Music user, and of course, iTunes podcast. Just look us up, Helical Brew, and you'll find us. For now, and until the next SLAS, this brew is brewed. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on the Helical Brew. We're glad to have you with us. For more episodes, please visit our website at helicalbrew.com. That's helicalbrew.com.